I'll address briefly Ukraine as well, and then go to why this is important to me. But yes, Ukraine is another nuclear crisis, which is flaring right now. And thanks to the US having dismantled the INF Treaty, the Intermediate Nuclear Forces Treaty, we are in the process of moving these banned missiles to Russia's border, and Russia is responding in kind. This war being fought to the last Ukrainian for the purpose of simply bleeding Russia, simply, costing Russia. We're not going to defeat Russia. The purpose stated by the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, was we want to bleed Russia. We want to make them pay. So who's making them pay? The people of Ukraine and American taxpayers, because this military budget, all added up, costs us half of the congressional budget. The average American household is paying $12,000 for these endless wars just this year alone. So we're paying a huge price. They don't want you to think about it. These wars endanger all of us, and they are impoverishing us. Ukraine could have been solved. The US has been driving this along with NATO by expanding to the east over many decades, basically since the Soviet Union broke up. We have been pushing to move to the east, breaking our own promise that that would not happen. This is disastrous. Now it's like the Cuban Missile Crisis, but in reverse. Russia's touchy about its border. We're touchy about our borders. When Russian missiles came to Cuba, which, by the way, was in response to our having placed missiles in Turkey, so we kind of initiated that one too, although that was not discussed very much. But just in terms of, so Russia brought its missiles to Cuba. We launched our nukes. They were in the air in airplanes. So we were ready to go to war to get those nukes out of our border. That's basically what Russia is doing as well. All Russia wanted was neutrality in Ukraine. Neutrality like Austria after the Second World War, was agreed to neutrality. So this was a simple solution. And there were many opportunities. There was a negotiation after the war started, which was going well. Russia compromised. They totally proved false this notion that Russia would never agree to back off of some imperial adventures. Russia was not interested in those imperial adventures and was ready to make deep compromises. And then the US and the UK came in and broke up that treaty because they want, they want this war. Probably because the war contractors are calling the shots. Our foreign policy is being driven by the lobbyists and the campaign contributions. And this is a disaster. The basis for our foreign policy, much like the basis for our health policy, the basis for our housing policy, you name it, we need a democracy. We need a people-powered democracy, not powered by the biggest contributors.